Howdy everyone, Pete Daddy here. Today I wanted to talk about how to beat squad battles on legendary difficulty in FIFA 21. They have changed the AI completely for these difficulties. It's a whole new experience, so I wanted to give you some tips and tricks on how you can dominate legendary difficulty. I know a lot of us are trying to rise the ranks in squad battles. Some of us are even going for top 100, top 200, so if you're going for that, you're going to want to try to beat legendary. I think it's the most efficient way to climb the ranks. If you win a match 5-0, and that's, I guess, the first tip, 5 goals is the max goals that count. So once you get to 5-0 is basically maxing out your goals or maxing out your points. You generally get around 2,500 points in Legendary for doing that. But I will say they've changed the AI around completely this year. It seems like in previous FIFAs, the offense was not that great in the AI, but the defense was solid. This year seems like it's flipped. The offense is now pretty good. It's a little hard to even stop them from scoring. It's hard to stop them from at least conceding one, but it seems like it's easier to score on them. So my main thing that I've had to adjust to, and I think we'll just play this team right here. I saw that they have an R9, so let's just go up against this team. Legendary difficulty, as I said, and you get to see what team I'm going to be using. This is my starter team right here. Very solid team, but when you're going up against the AI, you're looking for pace, pace, pace. So just always look for pacey players. You know, if we end up with this on icon swaps again, and you end up having to use silver players, you're just always looking for pace. Pace against the AI works really well. But my first tip is when you're defending, for example, last year in FIFA 20 or even previous FIFAs, when I would play the AI on legendary difficulty and when they had the ball, I would just basically press them, just try to win the ball back, make tackles. I would send my center back out, and the thing is, they wouldn't punish you if you missed that tackle. So if I sent my center back out and tried to aggressively win the ball and my center back missed, I wasn't likely to be punished from just like a through ball or something like that. This year they're playing like almost like an annoying online player. They're doing skill moves. They're trying to possess the ball. It's a little bit harder to take it off of them. So they generally do seem to end up with some goals. But I've gotten a little bit better at defending. I'll try to share some of my defending tips as well. On offense, it's similar. I don't know how many games you guys have played, but through balls have been the best way to score. And I'm actually changing to a 4-4-2 against the AI. I think that may work a little better than the 4-2-3-1, but I'm testing that out right now. I think the 2-striker setup is going to work pretty nicely. But let's just get into the match. And as we go through it, I'll try to share my tips and tricks. Also, a big tip, having the Burger King kit. Let's push the Whopper button one time for the Burger King kit.
Tell the crew to push the Whopper button.
So having the Burger King kit just gives you special powers as well. So let's just get right into it. Let's go for the gold, go for the gusto. But, you know, it's similar in the same respect to last year, whereas if you score a goal or if you're up a goal, it does seem like the AI will attack you more. But they're more all-out attack this year. Like last year, what would a lot of times happen is the first half would maybe end up 0-0 or 1-0. They wouldn't really attack. The AI didn't really attack until the second half or when they were behind goals. Now they're just attack, attack, attack. So, like I said, it's a little bit harder to stop them offense or stop their attack, but it's much easier to score. So it's kind of a little bit of a trade-off there. And one thing I always recommend, if you're having any trouble beating a legendary difficulty, take a look at the end of the match and see what your passing accuracy is. You want to be at least 90%. You want to control the game against the AI. They are really dominating the game more this year, holding on more possession of the ball. So make sure you're looking for that 90% pass accuracy. Let's see if we can get in the box. Can we get into the box with Teixeira? Not quite able to hold it, but Kambu coming through. So we're just trying to do some of this passing in the box, hoping someone will get free. And there we go. That's a beautiful goal right away. I'll try to just focus on what I was thinking here, what I was doing. And there you can see how my 4-4-2 was set up. But basically, on this replay, let me just hide this. I'm waiting, and I can see now up top, my Rafa is starting to make that run from out wide into more of a usable area. So I'm just waiting for him to clear. You know, just it's kind of having that patience of waiting for your player to break, waiting for that right time, controlling the ball until they do get into that dangerous space. And then this year, it seems like if you get in those dangerous areas, you score them more often than not. So that is a nice thing. So Rafa able to bury that one for us, give us an early 1-0 lead. But again, and last year, if I was up 1-0, that was basically game over. We would score the rest of our 4 more goals and just eat out the clock at 5-0. This year, you've got to really be on your toes the entire game defensively. And in a way, it's a good thing because I have said this for a long time. The biggest difference between, say, a Division 4, Division 3 player and a Division 1, Division 2 player is the defense. So this may help people get better at defense. I know when I would play a lot of squad battles last year and then go into an online match, I was nowhere near as good defensively. See if we can get Talisca to bury one. Oh, nice save. But again, we were just waiting for the right moment. Talisca cleared. Just be aware. Watch for your runners. It's all about finding that player, making that run, making that break. So I haven't decided. I have been taking my corners short. I have scored 1 direct corner. I still don't know what's going to be better yet, if it's going to be taking the corners or going to be like FIFA 20 where you want to play them all short. I've played most of them short just out of habit from FIFA 20, but I have scored 1 direct corner goal so far out of probably about 20 or 30 direct I've taken. I haven't put enough time into figuring out what is going to be the OP way to take corners this year. But like I said, we've got to really be on our toes defensively and see the AI there. They're looking for those through balls. They're doing those crazy drag backs. You've got to really be on your toes. And you've got to, like I said, treat them more like a human opponent this year than an AI opponent. You need to kind of stay back. I don't know if I even finished my point, but basically when I would play the AI in previous years, just say this again, through balls, through balls, through balls. But when I would play the AI in previous years and then I would go into a match against a human opponent, I would be terrible on defense because I was just used to being so aggressive defensively, like too aggressive. And then my opponent would punish me going into those matches. Talisca, is he onside? Those near post shots are still OP. Waited for Talisca to get onside. I'll try to show you what I am looking at so you know what to look for when you are playing. But basically right here, I see that Talisca is in an offside position. I'm kind of waiting. I do go a little bit early. I was kind of hoping he would get back, and luckily he did. But that was a through ball pass. And through balls, for anyone that doesn't know, is the Y button on Xbox, triangle on PlayStation. So those are just the most OP way to score. And near post is still OP this year. For any of you that had FIFA 20, you know how OP near post is. Near post is still OP this year, so that works really well. So nice 2-0 opening lead. But again, like I said, we've got to keep focusing on our defense because they just keep coming with the attack. And I don't know if I finished my point. I tried to get on to some of the attacking stuff as well, but I think it may help some players get better at defense. When you play squad battles, it's going to be hard to get my points, but you can see they're doing those like annoying drag backs. Like I said, they're kind of like an annoying player that you face in weekend league or sometimes in division rivals that kind of hold on to the ball. Let me try low driven cross is really OP this year. Look at that. The low driven cross is maybe more OP than it ever has been. And I know I probably haven't finished any of my points yet, so we'll get to them. But I'm just trying to get to things as they happen. Now the low driven cross, for anyone that doesn't know, I'll show you in just one second. But right here, I don't know of another FIFA where this low-driven cross would have worked from this position. Generally, for low-driven crosses to work in previous FIFAs, you needed your runner a lot more clear. This year, the low-driven crosses are just finding the opponent, and they're volleying them in perfectly. So you can see here, it wasn't like I wouldn't have attempted this low-driven pass in FIFA 20, just to let you know, but here it just finds, I think that was Teixeira, and Teixeira just gets on it on the volley and bangs that in. So you could see me, I was calling that while that was happening because I've seen that. And to do a low driven cross, you're going to hold the RB or R1 button and then hit the cross button, which is X or square. Pretty sure that's square on PlayStation. So, but anyway, it's this button, the cross button, and power it up pretty good. You want to get a good bit of power on it. So, hold it down for, 3 or 4 bars. I'm not 100% sure what power I had on that one. I'm not sure if it will tell me on the replay. I guess let me look at this again. I don't know if it will tell me. It won't tell me the power there. You could go back and maybe see what power was on the shot, on the cross. But the low driven shots works really well. Let me skip out of my celebration. So, we're getting some variations of attacks, but a lot of it is still, that was making a run up the wing with Rafa, and then finding Teixeira making his run into the box. So low-driven crosses work really well, but, you don't want to commit. Let me just pause that right here because I'm not sure if I finished some of my defensive points, but this is a perfect example. Previous FIFAs, now I was controlling Deli, who is, let me just switch it right here. I'm controlling Deli. Previously against Legendary AI, I would just run Deli out at the attacker, try to steal the ball. I knew that if I didn't win it, that it would be fine. Maybe they would pass it to someone out wide, do something else. This year, if you miss, they hurt you with those through balls. It seems like the AI knows the through balls are OP as well. But so what I did, I kind of started. Let me turn it back to this angle here. So I'm controlling Deli at the top of the screen. I kind of run at my opponent, but I was like, nope, 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 get back, because you don't want to. If you miss, you get punished on those. So you kind of, again, have to defend it more like a human opponent. If you go after a human opponent and you miss that tackle, they're going to make you pay. So, you kind of have to be a little bit more reserved. You want to be aggressive. It's kind of like a reserved aggression. It's kind of the way I describe it. It's good to be aggressive, but be aggressive at the right times. You don't want to just commit your last center back forward and miss a tackle and then get punished on that. So see if we can recover here. Again, just be patient. Watch the ball. Use your jockey movement. See if we can get Rafinha making a run. Use the pace seems to be more important than ever. I see a runner out wide. Now, that is one weird thing, but we get another goal with Rafa, so we're already getting close to our 4. But one weird thing, and again, I'm just trying to highlight everything I can think of to help you guys to dominate Legendary difficulty. But here, what I'm hoping for at the very top of my screen is Rafa. So any of you guys who have played FIFA for a long time, generally what happens is that player, that Rafa at the very top of the screen, if you can see him there, so I've got the guy with the ball, then 1, 2, 3, the third guy at the top, or the fourth guy, depending on how you want to call it. The top guy on the screen is Rafa. But generally what would happen, Rafa would just make that run basically straight at the far post, and you could try to get something, use a low-driven cross for that. This year, they're making some different runs. So they're doing a few different things. I know they've tried to mess with the AI, tried to say that attack positioning is one of the most important stats. So they maybe make smarter runs the more attack positioning they have. But basically, look what Rafa ends up doing. And they almost have a cross there between my striker and Rafa. When they come across here. So then it's a little bit weird for me because that's not what I'm expecting over all these years of FIFA. That's not a run you generally see, but I'm going to have to get used to that. Rafa gets into the box from his left mid position and then just able to bury that one. So again, let me just see if I can focus this a little bit more. Let me see. Just try to find a better angle for you guys. I think I can even... Let me just back out of this a second. Go back into the instant replay. Try to find a better angle. Let me back it up here a little bit. And I think you can set targets. So let me just see if I can find Rafa. So that may make it the easiest. Okay, so here he is. We've got him selected. So, like I said, normally what he would do is just make a run straight to that far post. That's what I've been used to. It's been a little weird getting used to these guys making different runs. But you can see Rafa and my striker there. I believe that's Bakambu cross. And so now I'm trying to find Rafa in a space I'm not really used to. But this is good for me, getting used to what the animations are going to be, getting used to what the runs are going to be. Now, I think that's a smart run because Rafa ends up in the box. And we end up getting a goal from it, so it's hard to complain. But just kind of pointing that out, especially for those of you guys who have been playing FIFA for years. It's a little bit of a different run that you see from someone coming down the wing now. But we're doing great. We're up 4-0. We've just got to get one more goal and then defend for our lives. So hopefully we can just do that. We're, doing great. But that's going to be the main thing. Just keep defending. And again, like I said, use this. Think of them as a human opponent there. See, we give up a goal. And like I said, it is very hard to stop them from scoring a goal this year. And it's really frustrating. I've only had a couple matches where I've finished with that 5-0. And here, I felt like I had it picked. I had, whoever that was, I believe that's Clinton Mata, had his foot on the ball. I thought he was going to recover. They bully on through, and then, they make that pass right through. And then I thought I had it covered with Deli, but it just gets right on through. I've seen that a lot this year too, where you have a guy in position. I've seen some stuff talking about nutmeg, so I don't know if they've added that into the animations more this year, but this is at least 4 or 5 times I've seen where I've had a guy felt right in the passing lane, and they basically get out of the way. So like you can see his foot basically just raises to get out of the way right over here, and goalkeepers have been pretty worthless so far this year. I haven't tried any of the epic keepers yet to really know, so we'll know a little bit more as we progress with better keepers. But they're able to just get, I felt like that would have been saved in previous FIFAs as well. So it feels like keepers are a little bit more worthless this year. But, it is what it is. It's frustrating to concede the goal because that's going to hurt our points a little bit. Now, the one good thing about that, look for some silver lining, is basically that I don't think it hurts you for your squad battle points if you give up any more goals. So you can relax a little bit. So all we really care about now is getting that 5th goal and then just holding out for the win. So, we'll work on our passing. There's certain other things that will affect your stats. So, like pass accuracy can affect your stats a little bit. So, one thing you can do is just try to control the ball because possession, I think, can affect your points a little. But for all intents and purposes, if you get the 5 goals and you can hold them to a clean sheet, hold them to 0 goals, then you're going to max out your points. I mean, there's those little things like shots and pass accuracy, fouls, all that type of stuff that can impact your score, but it's not a huge difference. But like I said, it is frustrating. And also, it felt like we did defend that overall. Like we had a couple opportunities. Clinton Mata had his foot on the ball. We felt we had Deli in the passing lane and still end up with the goal. But here you can see what I'm talking about. We haven't even given up much possession so far this game. And luckily, Mignolet saved it there. But they seem to just hold on to possession. They play, like I said, like basically, it's frustrating at times because, it's no fun to play against those types of online opponents. So it's not going to be any fun playing against them as AI opponents either, but just those opponents that hold on to the ball. But here we go again. Through ball, through ball, through ball. The best way to score. We're going to try the low-driven cross again, and that's just too OP. There's our 5th goal. And now we're just basically hanging on. Honestly, at this point, I don't care if I give up any other goals. I would like to try to maintain some possession. But what always seems to happen for me is that if I just try to pass the ball around, and if, say I just okay, I've got my 5th goal. Just say it was 5-0 right now. Sometimes what I've done is just try to pass the ball around the back, eat out the clock because, I've got my 5 goals. Even if I get to 6 or 7 or 8, it doesn't matter. But every time I do this, they end up pressing a lot. I always end up giving a goal just because I get bored passing around the back. You're not doing anything. So it gets frustrating. So I just recommend just playing your game. Sometimes even what I do in this scenario, just so you guys know, probably won't do it while we've got our trial going because it takes a little bit more time. We're playing on the EA Play trial right now, which only has 10 hours. So, but what you can do at this point, set your controller down, just let the game play out. They may score a couple more goals. You want to keep an eye on it. This is one you do need to keep an eye on. Against World Class or something like that, you probably can just walk away completely. But on Legendary, when I do that, like say I needed to go do something around the house, then, I'll set my controller down and maybe just kind of check back on it every minute or so. Just make sure I'm not giving up a ton of goals. And then that way, then you're not having to play. In previous FIFAs, mainly FIFA 20, there was a glitch where you could do a fake shot stop and then they would stop trying to take the ball from you. I don't believe that glitch is here now, but you see there another through ball, through ball, through ball. I'll just try to show you as many possible things as I can with this time. So through balls are very OP, and like I said, I am really digging the two-striker formation against the AI. I haven't gotten a chance to test it much in online competitive play. We've already done our placement matches. I did the 4-2-3-1 in the placement matches. We won all 5 of our placement matches. So, I don't know for sure what's going to be the OP formation yet, but I kind of have a feeling that two-striker formations may be the best. And I almost gave up a goal there. Like I said, I'm not trying that hard defensively now, but you'll be able to see what the AI will be able to do. But here I've got a through ball opportunity. It's all about the through balls. Just dribble around, pass around, and there we get another goal. So it's just this attack, and I've only got it on balanced attack. That's another thing. I have tried fast build up and long ball, and I still think balance is better. Well, but that's another good point. What you want to do is trigger runs. So let me show you how to trigger the runs. Now, it seems like the players are making smart runs. I know that's a big thing that EA was working on, trying to change how your AI teammates were working to allow them to make better runs based on their attack positioning. But if you hold the LB button, and you see there Teixeira went and made his run. Let me just back that up. I just wanted to show you there. So if you hold the LB or L1 and point with your left analog stick with who you want to make the run, it's going to send someone on a run. So that's one reason I think balance will still be the best, because you can trigger runs for people. They also have these runs you can draw this year. I haven't messed with that yet. I haven't wanted to get into that. But let me just show you the replay of this right here. We have the ball. I see Teixeira up there in a good opportunity. I've got plenty of room, so I've got space I can dribble into. So I'll be able to make a through ball pass at some point. So now at this point, I'm tapping LB and pointing at Teixeira because I want him to make a run. And you'll see Teixeira all of a sudden be like, okay, hey, he wants me to make a run. So he makes that point. Let me back it up a second. So you can see he's making this point with his arm. That's when you know he is making the run that you triggered. Because right now he's like, hey, you can pass me the ball. He's showing me his feet. But now I'm saying, no, I want you to move. I want you to move. So I hit the LB. Now he's making that run, and then I can make the pass. I wasn't really necessarily trying to go for anything there. Just wanted to show you guys how you can trigger the runs. That's a big, big thing. And one of the ways it's the most effective, I'll try to set that up right here, is for runs up and down the wing. Let's focus on the defense, because like I said, the defense is probably the hardest thing, but the best tip I can give you on defense is just to play them like a human opponent, treat them like a human opponent. So the other thing you can do are the 1-2 passes, and you know how I told you push LB or L1. I had Talisca making a nice run there. You push LB or L1 to trigger a run. Well, if you hold LB and then the pass button of A or X, we'll do that in just 1 second. Just wanted to tell you the mechanics. So LB or L1 plus the pass button, that allows you to do a 1-2 pass, which will send your guy on a run. So here I'm going to hold the LB button, and when I made the pass, and there you can see Grimaldo made a run. Same thing, LB and pass, Grimaldo makes a run. Now I've got somebody free. So, now it's up to us to pick out the through ball. Oh, we ring one off the post. But again, just going to reiterate, in my opinion, the most effective way to get in on goal is still through balls for FIFA 21 so far. It's been just the most effective thing. Now, the thing that I showed you on the first goal will always work, where you can, that's the thing that's going to work FIFA to FIFA to FIFA, where you can basically just dribble the ball around, around the box area, wait for someone to make their move into the box. But here we go. We've got Rafa again. Let's try a regular cross. I have not done much with regular crosses. So there we even get a cross to a header. My understanding is that headers work a little bit. They're a little bit better than FIFA 20, but it's not as reliable as it has been. And say like FIFA 19, heading was a big deal. So I think they're trying to balance it to where it's not as OP as FIFA 19, but maybe not as weak as FIFA 20. So there we were at least able to get a regular cross. That one I did not do the low-driven modifier. But there we've got Talisca making a run. trying to do something crazy, didn't quite pan out. But again, it's those through balls. Watch your runners, just pay attention, just watch everybody. And so that's another thing. If you're having trouble seeing people, maybe check your camera settings. I prefer the telebroadcast setting now, so that should be the one I am using. That is a great way to get it set up to spot all these guys making their runs. And Talisca is playing, I believe he's offside. Yeah, he was offside. So haven't had an offside runner there, but that's okay. That's just what you're looking for. Look for those runners. Look for those runners. See if we can at least finish it out with only giving up 1 goal. And you can tell they have really increased the pressure. So when we give the ball up, they are really pressing. That's something they kind of did in previous FIFAs, but it wasn't as an effective of a press. This year, it's more of an effective press. Like, I don't really have a good place to go with the ball. Found one option. There's Rafinha making a run. Again, just through balls. Through balls. We'll try a low driven. The volleys this year are really, really strong. So here I'm playing short. Nothing really there. Now, long shots, I haven't tested them out as much this year, but long shots are supposed to be a little bit more effective this year. Let's see if we can get anybody set up with any type of long shot. Yeah, that one, I'm talking more like outside the box. But, you know, they're supposed to be a little bit more effective. I haven't had a lot with that. There, Paulinho had a decent chance at a header from a corner, but still nothing that great. Still haven't decided what's going to be the best for corners this year. See if we can get Rafa set up with something. They had pretty good defense. I was trying to get something set up for an outside the box shot. Wasn't quite able to get it, but you know, just put shots on target. That seems to be, you know, we've had that in some FIFAs where it's just more important to get shots on target because goals are going to fly in. This seems to be one of those FIFAs where goals are just going to fly in. The keepers just aren't that OP this year. Oh, they blew the whistle. Okay, I was trying to get one more set up for a shot outside of the box, but didn't quite work out. So I hope these tips helped you. You know, we will, you know, take a look at this. You can see Rafa scored 3 from an LM position. Talisca scored 2 from a CM position. Teixeira's had a hat trick, so had lots of goals. Rafa even had 2 assists, so you can see the wingers were very involved. I think that's one thing this year that's going to be better. Maybe sometimes in the 4-4-2, what I didn't like is that it seemed like your LM and RM would kind of get lost. But like that very first goal we had with Rafa, he came in, got into a good position. Another one he was making a run, and then instead of making that old run where he just went straight for the far post, he cut inside. So, you know, the LM and RM may be more valuable, but you can see there just how involved everyone got. But anyways, boys, this is going to wrap up the video. Let me know if you're having any problems with legendary difficulty. Let's take a look real quick. What was my pass accuracy? So you can see there, 92% pass accuracy. That would be the #1 thing I would look for if you're having any problem with legendary difficulty. Check your passing accuracy. Make sure to try to get it at that 90% level. Just gives you a good indication of if you're controlling the game, if you're securing the ball, taking care of the ball, securing your possession. But this is going to wrap it up for now. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Join my Discord server. But I'll see you guys soon. Bye.